So I was doing this meditation, and it was a kryon circle of 12 meditation, and it's like channeling the energy of the planet and Gaia and everything, all the divas, elementals, everything, and it's just going on, and it's ridiculous. Like that, I'm feeling the energy, and like I just started bawling like a baby. I was crying so hard, like ugly crying, you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
couldn't control it. And I've been
Yeah.
going through so much in my personal life, so many struggles, so much. That's 11:11 right now, and all of this is like came to a head, and this meditation, and it's my past in the elemental realms and things like this, and all the initiations I've been through with that, and it's
Right.
like been coming full circle. And in this meditation, I felt all of it, and I felt why and saw why I'd been going through all these experiences, and like the purpose of it, to let go of these attachments, to let go of these things that have been holding me back, to let go of whatever isn't serving me anymore, that's keeping me detached, or
Yeah.
we're never detached, but we're kind of keeping me blocked, so to speak, from stepping fully into that purpose and my purpose in that world. And dude, it was such a release. And it was
Right.
like everything that's been building up, because since like November of last year until right now, it's been fucking rough. It's been
Yeah.
really good and really rough. It's been super high and super hard. Like that,
Yeah.
it's just the ebbs and flows, and it's going super fast. Like every week was super high and super low, super high and super low. And I've just been going through it. And it's like all of it was just like, this is why you're not alone. You're never alone. You're always connected. And then, we just started talking again after several months and barely speaking to each other, just because we've been all going through this shit. And then Kat reached out to me right at the same time. And it's like, Kat felt that experience and reached out
Yeah.
to me. You know what I mean? Like, and like we're all connected. We're never alone.
We are,
The world
because
likes to make you feel like you're alone, but we are never ever alone. We are all connected, and you're connected to everything, and you're always never alone. It was a powerful experience.
exactly. Yeah. And it's so funny with elementals, because they are such a huge part of it too, and especially as far as Kat's concerned. It's I don't know, she's in tune, man. She's in tune, like you said, that she reached out to you. Well, we were just at Christmas time. I didn't even know what was going on, but Kim and her had been talking, and Kim done a drum session, a healing session with her drum for her, or with her, or whatever. Man, it's amazing that, how we all, it's like, as soon as I think of you, or I think of Africa or Ed or somebody, one of you guys, and then the next thing another one does, and it's like we all immediately know what the other one's thinking, and somehow we just reach out, and
Yeah.
crazy happens like that. A little bit, but you was talking about how you gushed out and cried. It's funny how energy flows like water. I mean, how you talk about flow, and we get in the flow, and how everything is in the flow, and there's no really high ebb, and those ebb and flows are not as high and low as, so it's more of an even flow state, right? What happens is you're like a dam, man. You bottled that shit up. You were kind of like shoving this and letting it, it's like, hey, I'll shit for a second. Then another stick come in and started blocking your flow, and you're like, okay, I'll go ahead and deal with that. Another stick. Next thing you know, you got this dam build up, and all you wanted was one motherfucker to come pull, like Pixie Sticks game. Remember that, where you pull the stick out and the balls come down there? Whatever it is, you know what I mean? All you need is that one dude to come and pull that stick out, and all of a sudden, and it was Kyra, or what's that dude's, he always reminds me of my uncle. Kryon. Yeah. He reminds me of my uncle. He sounds just like that guy. I always want to call him Uncle Boyd when I think of it. But anyway, yeah, it's funny because women, I always have thought about how women will do that. Men don't. That's why men age and die. Men don't really cry and let it go. They bottle and hold it on. A
Mhm.
woman, if finally that dam will bust, man, they'll be in there crying in that pillow. I mean, and they'll get so bad sometimes, man, they'll go change their hair and come out and to be a totally different person because they have fucking they have transformed, they have, transmuted into something else. They've let something go and grasp onto something else, or they might not even grasp onto something else. They have just let something go and now they're in new waters. But at least they're flowing freely and they feel free and they feel alive and they feel good. It doesn't matter. At least you don't know what's coming around the corner. Whereas back then you did know just misery and pain and shit because you're all bottled up and dammed up. You've been eating other people's shit for so long. You're sitting there just wanting somebody to let you cry, man. Just
Yeah.
please, let me let this shit
It's
out.
funny.
And as a man, yeah, as
Right.
men, that's one of the problems. I don't have a problem if I get that way. You know what I mean? But a lot of men I know, I've got actually some relation and some men. They're real stoic and they bottle shit up, and you can tell these dudes are like a tick of fucking time bomb.
Hmm.
They're ready just to
That's
explode,
been
but
me
they won't.
always.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're going to turn gray. You're going to get wrinkles and turn gray if you don't get it. Because it causes inflammation.
Dude,
Inflammation causes premature.
yeah, I started getting gray hairs when I was like 18 years old, 18, 19. And I never even put that together, but that's probably why, because I was all, as a boy growing up, when I was young and used to cry, I was told I was a sissy for crying. Like, boys don't cry,
Right.
men don't cry, this and that.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of bullshit. That's just the old paradigm, the old society, or whatever you want to call it, that is not healthy, because if you that's dishonoring your emotions. You know what I mean? If
Right.
your emotions are energy, and if you deny them and if you don't acknowledge them, then that energy gets trapped somewhere in your body and you got to release it at some point. So
Yeah.
if you just cried and let people make fun of you, whatever the fuck, let that shit go. Feel it, let it go. It's the alchemy of the transformation we go through, is
Right.
releasing those energies, those traumas, those whatever we've been through that's creating anxiety, and the traumas that.
The worst part, go ahead. I
No,
was
go
going to
ahead.
say the worst part is you push on that frequency where you draw those other experiences and those other people in that same frequency towards you through the resonance. So you're like, once you get shit on you, it's like fucking with peanut butter or syrup or something. You know how you always, no matter how much you try, it starts getting all over everything. It's sticky. Here it is all over. That's how that shit is. That's once you get down in the gooey of the goo. Same with light. You get up in the light, you get up in that higher frequency, and you start drawing those people and those experiences. Next thing you know, you're doing crazy shit like rolling all over the country for free. No money, I don't know how you
Yeah,
pull that off, but you know what I mean? That's how it really works.
it is.
It really, if you let the wind blow you, it'll blow you. I mean, and you see people like that too. I remember when I was a kid, man, there was this hitchhiker. This is back in the 70s, like probably the middle 70s. He was a real hippie. But this dude would come, and I was like 9, 10 years old. And this dude would come and sit down with me and talk to me like I was here his bearded up hippie dude, real intellectual dude, but he had traveled didn't have any money, barefoot dude, but he would go to Minnesota and tell me about all these places. In the summertime, he'd come back to Indiana and he'd see me in my yard and he'd come and just sit down like in a meditative pose and just talk to me, man. And I'd sit there and listen to him. He'd tell me stories, but he was one of them free spirits, man. He was one of those, just the wind blew him. He was so like, just wasn't, he wasn't connected to material shit and places in a time. He went with it, and this dude was so cool. I'll never forget this dude. I always wanted to be that way, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I ever.
That's so true. Because funny you say that too, because that's what allowed me to do everything that I did when I traveled the country with no money. I just fully surrendered and trusted that it would all work out. I was chasing an idea of love, but I was really running away from something also, which is what I needed at the time. And I was fully drawn and called to do what I did with
Yeah.
that. travel,
It's
because
so cool.
literally had voices screaming in my head, to go that way. And it's when
Yeah, we ought
you
to
were
make a
when you
little
were
movie about. We should make a movie about that because I mean, and I told you, and I think you did get some shots. I told you get your coffee pot, your feet hitting the floor, the air, the
yeah,
wind, and you took all those shots, man. So we got those shots. Hopefully, still got them. But
yeah,
man,
somewhere.
it was just so cool if you think about it. How the man, it was just like I was just like the whole time. I still smile when I think back. I'm like, that was so cool, man. That's just the coolest fucking shit. Because I know for a fact you was broke. You didn't have shit. You came back with a brand new Jeep and
Yeah,
drove all over the country, picked up some chick in Florida. I'm like, man, what the hell's going on? I'm like, oh, I just had the balls to do it, man. I know it can be done, and you just got to really, like you said, they'll cost you the win. Just do it. Do it.
go. Yeah. And I wanted to tie it into now, because it was like up to a certain point, I still lived my life that way, but then, a new set of circumstances arrived, and I was trying to control it. You know what I mean? Instead
Yeah.
of allowing it to go. I thought and had an idea it should go this way. And that is what caused so much pain. Like, and showed me like all the pain and
Yeah.
attachment that I hadn't released yet.
Yeah.
And I thought I did. But since I got back from California, dude, it took like a year to integrate all those experiences that I went through, and, getting back into the swing of things with working again. And, it took a long time to get through all of that. And I had been feeling stagnant for like a year. Like my life wasn't progressing. I'm not getting anywhere further. I'm not developing any spiritually, which is not true, because just life experiences being here, you're developing and growing and everything. But that's how I felt.
Right.
And then, that's a new set of
Because of
circumstances
your
that
expectations. Because of
yeah,
expectations. It's always expected. That's what kills us.
expectation, yeah, trying to
Always.
control it, trying to
Yeah.
force your will upon the universe doesn't fucking work. It never does. But the second you release that and just trust and allow, it's amazing what the fucking happened in your life. And it's like when I did that, it's like it just culminated all into this moment of that meditation, which was just divinely timed, that I happened to be listening to it at that time.
Yeah.
There's no accidents. I don't believe in coincidence. And it's just poof. And it was like I was wrapped around like energetic roots came out of the earth and like surrounded me and like held me, like the
Yeah.
planets here for me, the
Sweet.
elementals, my guides, the spirits that I have
Yeah.
always
Yes,
felt
they are.
around me are like, I got you, just let it go, just
Yeah.
trust. And it's like I was done, dude. I was no more good. I was
Yeah.
no more good. I couldn't do it anymore. I was just like, and
Right.
since then, the energy of everything in my life has just shifted like that overnight. Like everything's changed, everything. And it was the second I released in here, I
Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah. And that's what
And,
it's all about.
and
That's
I
what it's
think that's
all
what a
about.
lot of people are struggling with this year, because this year's it's been like, especially since I started awakening in 2018 and through 2019 had that experience, like every year it's building and building and building, and then we had the shutdown, and then people are being forced to be on their own, you know what I mean? And it's just building more and more and more. And
Yeah.
now it's like it's time to start figuring shit out, or you're going to
Yeah.
suffer more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can go either way, but it's like I think this year's a lot of shedding those things that aren't serving us even more so than before. And with the what is it? This is 2022, man.
Yeah.
2022. That energy is a quickening. That's the word I was looking for. Quickening. That's going to really start propelling us
Yeah. And I think,
in changing your life and to letting things go that aren't serving you. Like it's like a collective reconnection almost. You know what I mean? Like everyone that is even remotely aware, and for so many people that I talk to every day are aware of what's going on and open to it to a degree. And the least suspecting people, like I had the most country hillbilly family the other day that were just goofy. And they were driving a Range Rover, dude. Like, rich
Yeah.
people don't usually know that. And he started talking to me about awakening. I didn't even bring it up. He's like, we're going through an awakening right now. And I was like, you fucking right we are. Like, dude, that's awesome. I can't believe you just said that to me right now. Oh, I got everyone here. I'm the guy that you would say that to. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
No shit. Yeah. He found you. Yeah. That's, it's crazy. I think the number one thing that, this is the number one reason, and this is the truth, man, that human suffering, the reason we suffer, the number one reason 90% of people suffer is false belief in oneself. You're not what they've been telling you are. You've had this shit dumped on you. You believe you have to conform into this, and you have to be this, and because you're a boy, you have to be that, and you're a girl, and all these boxes you've been put in, another box, a smaller box, a box, and so you have these false beliefs about yourself. You have these false beliefs. If I do this, then everybody will love me. If I do this, I'll be happy. If I accomplish this, I'll be where I want to be finally. All these things that it's all false beliefs. It's all fucking fucked up. Somebody's idea of something from the past. The people from the past, my parents, they were what was embedded in them was stuff that came from the 40s, because their parents was trying to force their life onto them. Say, now this is how we went to church in the 40s. This is what we did in the 40s. Now you're going to be like us the way we was in the 40s. Then our parents in the 60s, you're going to be like we was in the 40s and the 60s. They keep trying to, you know what I mean, and take you back instead of letting things just fucking be and develop. What I'm trying to get to, long story short, is and I think people that's going through this awakening, this is another thing, people that are suffering, is we always have this idea of how it's going to be better if it's like this. We always have this picture in our mind of how it's going to be. If we would just wipe out the pictures of what we think it's going to be, or what we think is great, or what we think is this, live in the moment, enjoy now, just enjoy now, and know that you don't know what's coming. Let it be, let it come, let whatever it is, be surprised about it. Don't have anxiety that it's going to be what you fucking want it to be. It's got to be this. I have to make this. I have to have a 401k. I got to, whatever it is in your mind, these things you put on yourself, just let it be. Just let things be. Let you be. Let your awakening be. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be roses, and maybe it's something different. Maybe this is different. Maybe just calm down, let it be, and have a look at it, and quit trying to make it be something else, or think that it's supposed to be something else for you to, because I found myself in that same, because I found that I went through this awakening deal. So here I am in this love and light, and I've got this idea, I'm going to fucking live in this utopic. Then they drop this shit. And it's like, boy, that sure threw a monkey wrench in my whole deal. Now I've got to back up and like, what? So the primitive side, or the fighter side, or the rebel side, or the person that I've always been my whole life, there's that guy wanting to come out, load up, lock and load, and, let's get it on, and then there's the part of me that knows that there's much more going on. So, I'm sitting here, so I have to really back up and say, hey, look, I don't know. So just calm the fuck down. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. It's okay. It's okay not to know. I don't have to know, but today's good. I'm good today. So let me just, do today, man. And we got to have future plans. We got to have things, but don't get so wrapped up in it, man, that you're like growing old over it, because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we've seen that last couple of years. You don't know what the hell's going to happen.
No, and we are in an apocalypse cycle. Like, it's happening. It's the death of the old world. It's not like the Bible or everything's gonna die. Not in my belief, but it is the death and rebirth into this new world. And I don't watch mainstream, but I see and hear enough that you can see it. Like, everybody can see it. Like, everything that was false and wrong about what happened in the past year or two or whatever the fuck, it's coming out now. Like everything is being exposed. The light is shining on everything, and it's going to expose the darkness. And more people are seeing it, and more people are waking up. And then now, with all those truckers in Canada just taking a stand, it's really like that is powerful. You know what I mean? Like people
Yeah.
are starting to come together finally, and that's what this is about. This is what we
That's
need.
actually important. It's going to be a forced issue. It has, you know, it has to happen. It has to happen.
Has
It's
to.
just like any cancer, a cancer on the body, a cancer on the earth. Something is going to come and destroy and fight off the cancer, you know, and that's what we're going to do. We've just laid back so long, and they've had us programmed for so long. But you know, once people start standing up and the momentum starts to lean in, when people will always follow the crowd. As long as you have a crowd going in that direction, you will have that, you know. But I was gonna say, you know, we was talking about how people were always, and we had mentioned this. I'd said something about how human beings were always human being. We're always being, but humans are always becoming. We're always. That's what our problem is. We always look to the past to define what we think we can do in the future. We look to the model of our parents, not understanding, dude, we're moving into new territory. Why are you fucking trying to drag this old idea, this old baggages, especially now? Everything's going so fast. Everything's new. It's all new horizon. It's like going to America. It's like we're just getting to America. You know, you're not going to bring England and German and all these 400 or 500 years of bullshit. You're in America. It's new territory, man. It's new country. It's new. Let's do it.
It just made me think of something. I don't know why, but imagine growing up today. Like when you grew up, when I grew up, there weren't cell phones. There wasn't even internet when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Internet came out when I was a teenager, or right about that time, and it was super slow. But you know, now technology is advancing at such a high rate. Like my kids, like my kid's mother went to get a new phone, and my 7-year-old son knew the model of the phone, knew what features it needed, knew what memory it needed. He knew everything about the iPhone and told the sales guy what they needed. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's 7
They're
years
little
old. I don't
geniuses.
even know that shit about cell phones. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like that's what my brother knows, and he's a tech guy. That's who I consult
Yeah.
when I need something done or when I look to purchase a different device or something. He'll tell me all the information about it because he just knows it, likes it, and studies it.
Right.
But imagine that. Like, imagine how we learned and grew up. Like, we had a different thing with and didn't have access to that much information. Now kids these days at 7 years old have their own iPhones or Androids or whatever it is. They have a smart supercomputer in their pocket that they can ask a question and get an immediate answer from. So the knowledge is just in abundant. Like, so where we had to rely on just our parents to tell us or our friends to tell us this information to learn, and we were more likely to carry that on, and less likely to be influenced from outside
Right.
sources. Yes, you know what I mean. Not as many, I'm trying to say, but now
Right.
it's like
And they're not. Yeah. Just
it's
like
like
your sons will probably be less influenced by you and more influenced by some YouTuber. Isn't that crazy?
yeah, well, I mean, that's everyone's path too, because I mean, since I was awakening, that's what's happened to me. I've been influenced by several different YouTubers, and basically,
Yeah.
YouTube is my source of information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a few other things, but really, the people that you are drawn to isn't going to be what you're drawn to. You and I listen to
Right.
some of the same people, but not like that. Like, but we get the same information in different ways. Everyone's going to be guided to the information that they're seeking, you know, and the with from a person or conduit that is going to resonate with you.
Right.
And, you know, I share a lot of videos with a lot of my friends. I just send them out, and you know, some of them stick, some of them don't. But you know, I know that, and I know like when someone sends me a video, I'll give it like 10 seconds. If it's not like if I'm not feeling it, just don't feel the vibe. I just don't even watch it unless it's something like
Exactly.
Like, so we're all drawn to it. And I know if I'm looking for, not even when I'm not looking for something, this has been blowing my mind even more recently. When I just start watching videos, um, I'll get a notification or something will pop up with a video that is so on point with what exactly I was going through and needed to hear in that moment. Like it just was the universe saying, here's the answer. You're not listening to me, so I'll tell you through this person. And it's like, holy
Exactly.
shit. Like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, all right, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that shit too, man. I'll tell you something else that I find. You know, I'll go back to my old videos, and I'll watch one for some reason. I'll be called to watch it, and it's like I'm giving myself a message in that video. I'll pick up on something and I'm like, why did I say that? But it because when I go back and look at it doesn't make sense why I would say it, except for if I was to come back and look at this thing. You know, weird shit like that. Have you ever done that? That's weird, man. Or go back and look at like I just recently looked at a comment because I'll go back and look at that molded bike. Somebody had made a comment on it, so I went and looked at it. Was looking at a couple of comments, and I was looking and seeing that I was, you know, regular my subscriber. And they said something, and there was some really nice stuff, man. And was telling me, you know, really encouraging me on just about like you do, you know, really giving me the lift up, you know what I mean? And and this has been about a week or two ago, and it's like, it was enough, man. I want to get my channel going. I've got a clipboard back there. I'm writing up my next, what I'm going to come out and talk about. But it's just like, I get these messages, they'll come, like I'll just, for some weird reason, click on something, click on that and read something. And I know that message that I just read was something that I like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was meant to read that right now. Like it guided me to that. Like it's something that's trying to tell me something, because the shit is trying to tell, dude, there's shit's always trying to tell me something, man. And I'm listening.
Our intuition is becoming stronger with everybody. And it's just a matter of listening to that. And I hear it and I'm becoming more aware. But it's like when we get a message, a lot of times it's really easy for us to discredit that with the monkey mind, the egoic mind, to just rationalize that it wasn't that wasn't spirit just talking to me, that wasn't just what I didn't just see a freaking elemental in my room, you know what I mean? Like it's like like, we really trust that guidance. It's life changing. Like it makes you realize how powerful you really are, how connected you really are. And that's what's been happening with me a lot in this past weeks, really. So this year, let's just say that. But I've been pushing it away. You know, it's coming in and I'm like, no, that wasn't that. No, that wasn't that. No, that wasn't that. And now I'm like, shit, it was that. Okay, let's tune in a little bit here. Let's pay attention to that a little bit more. And the synchronicities happening now. I don't know about you, but I cannot look at a clock without seeing a set of numbers that mean something to me. Almost every time I look at the clock, or if I see something, if I'm showing a car, if the VIN number in the car has a set of numbers that mean something to me, the person's driver's license number has a number with a meaning to me, the price of the car comes out to a number with that, you know what I mean? It's literally everywhere now. Like the synchronicities are ridiculous, like mind blowing. I can't think of a particular example, but literally everywhere, all day, every day.
When it gets like that, that's when you really have got to follow your joy. You really have got to follow the synchronicities, the joy. What something happens and maybe you got to be at work, but something's calling and you're like, follow that, follow it. You know, you're thinking I should, you know, because I'll turn left, I'll go somewhere that I normally don't go. Something tells me to go there, and usually 8 out of 10 times, man, there's something there that I was either meant to see or I'm like,
just practice.
That's why I turned here. That's why I turned here. You know
just
what I mean?
Practice. Like you're right. If you have a feeling to do something, just do it and see what happens.
Do it.
Just do it. Because like the other day, just being at the store, I was heading like, you know, I make my normal path through the store and get what I get. And I went past the section. I didn't need anything there. And I just kept going. And then something was like, oh, I should go down this aisle. So I went back around and went down that aisle, and I ran into a guy that I work with. Now that's a pretty meaningless
Right.
encounter, but
Right.
it was
Still,
still, I recognized I had a feeling to go there and ran into
main,
someone that I knew. You know what I mean? Like,
main thing is you're exercising your power. You know,
mm-hmm.
you're in tune with it, and following it and seeing that it does lead somewhere. That way, every day when you know you get sharp on this, man, you get to where
Yeah.
you know what to do because your instincts tell you. Whereas everybody is saying fire, follow the fire exit, but your instincts say no, jump out this window. Follow your instincts. Fuck what these people are telling you. You know, it's
Yeah.
going to pay off. Trust
I
me.
heard a quote the
You
other
really,
day that if you follow the crowd, you will only go as far as the crowd.
yeah,
You
nowhere.
know what I mean? You'll never get past what the herd is doing. But if
Right.
you follow your own path, there's limitless potential to what you can achieve in your reality. Like, it is really powerful. And everything I want to create in this world, it requires that. You know what I mean? It requires turning away from the herd. And that is a lot of what this awakening is, until the masses awaken, which is going to be a while when once that balance shifts, but it's shifting really quickly, like
Yeah.
really quickly. And
Yeah.
and I'm just so excited for it. And I'm happy that I've gone through all these experiences, and you too. And I know we're going to get back into making these videos, and I think we'll probably wrap this up here in a second. And we want to get back to making these videos, at least 2 a month, you know, the very minimum 1 a month. But we want to
Right.
do it consistently and start doing lives. If you're still watching here, we love you. We missed you guys. God
Yes.
bless it. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah.
And we really are going to get back into it, really feel called and drawn to it. And, you know I've been through a lot of life experiences that I can help and share. And I do the energy healing work and can help and with that. And Bonesy's been working on a lot of things, getting certified. And we want to put something together and bring it to you, because us staying silent and keeping to ourselves served a purpose, and I think it was necessary for our own internal growth. But we both feel like it's time to step out of that now and to start giving back more on this kind of public forum.
Well, you kind of, if you know, go back to the stinking water analogy again, but it's almost like a bunch of rivers came together and turned into this big ocean of bullshit. And we had to sort of spin around and kind of see which way, you know, we're going now, to see, you know, to kind of know what we have to create and where we're, the lands and the waters that we're treading into now, because things are different now. Things are, you know, a couple of years ago when I was started my channel 2 or 3 years ago, things were a lot different, man. You know, the way we talk about the future and the way we talk about things and the way we think of things, it really was, the landscape really then seemed, I don't know, it just seemed like it was really broad. And like if we was painting a picture, there was, you know, now it's narrowed down. It's almost like, you know, so what is available to us? What, you know, do we still have those same kind of thoughts? Can we still think freely like that? Can we still believe? Because it really felt like the powers that be pushed back. You know what I mean? It's like I felt so free, and then all of a sudden I felt so not free. You know, I was like, and that really pissed me off. And it really, I had to gather myself, dude. I'm, you know, like I say, I've got a lot of rebellion in me, man. I've got a lot of I come from a lot of violence, like, you know, and I've always been prepared for shit to go down, and I've always had a mindset when the shit goes down, I know what I'm going to do. So it's hard for me to be in this, like I say, this light, and then all of a sudden this shit goes down, and all of a sudden my, you know, years and years and years and years of thinking, well, when shit goes down, I'm doing this. You know, the song, when shit goes down, you better be ready. It was at
Yeah.
Cypress Hill. But yeah, I've always been like that. So, you know, I've kind of just said, plus I've had other things going on, personal things. My dad, I was dealing with him for about 6 months before he passed. He passed in July. So I've had, different things like that. But for the most part, I've like not really known what to say because I want to come on here and say shit that YouTube probably will ban me because I've been pissed. I've been kind of pissed, I've been, man, because I just see injustices going on. I see people tearing at each other, and it's all because they're being manipulated through the media. You got this side here thinking this side, and they're tearing, and it's exactly what they want to do to us. And you're trying to tell them, dude, they're doing this. They're trying to separate and create this negative vibe because it's all resonance. And we're all going to fall into the same shithole if we don't change the way we think. But here I am in silence. I'm not helping nobody being silent.
Also, where you were speaking, I think at that time would be attracting a different group of people. Right.
Yeah.
Like you had to go through that internal struggle on your own, like a lot of us did. And I'm just trusting in the fact that since we didn't do it, that was the right thing to do because I didn't feel like it. Like I was trying to make videos almost that whole time and I just had no inspiration, no drive, just didn't feel like it. Like I for a long time felt like I said everything I needed to say.
Yeah. And you probably feel like I do now, fired up again. Because I feel like fire that I had. And I'm like, that's how I am. If I don't feel it, I'm not gonna make a video. I can't make it contrived. I can't push it. I can't. And usually my videos, they don't make any sense, and but they're inspiration that comes like in the middle of the night. I'll have this like idea, then I come on and I try to explain and relate it to my experience, and that's what it's about. Well, I gotta have that, man. For me to do that, I gotta have that inspiration. And I'm feeling it. So. And that's why I think you're feeling it too. So here we are. So what's up?
Yeah. So I love all you guys. We're so happy. And if you're still watching, I don't know how long we've been on. Me and Bonesy were talking for like 20 minutes before we started recording. So I have no idea. But we love you guys like so much. And I know we haven't posted and it's probably not going to go out to a lot of people, but the ones that find that and are still watching to this time, leave a comment below and let us know what you want to, let us know that you're here still and let us know, like, what do you want us to talk about? What are you struggling with? What could we do or say to help you out with the current situation or something to that effect? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're here for. And we're going to start doing live shows as soon as I figure out how to do it. And as soon as Bonesy gets his freaking internet figured out, and we'll get this thing rolling.
Yep. Couple of guys doing it a couple of guy ways. Hey, at least we're raw. You know what I mean? We're not polished up, finally old, look like fake machine. You know what I mean? Like you can tell we're just getting through this like everybody. We're just trying to. It's like if you was to set up a YouTube channel, this is how you would do it. You just get through it. You just do it. So
good. Yeah.
But you do way better than not going all the. You're so much better than I am. I can't figure this shit out, man. But I'm starting to.
Yeah.
I'm starting.
It's it's tough for you with the technology part of it, but you'll get there. You will get there, my friend. But all right, guys.
Yep.
So we love each and every one of you. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking, where you're at, and what's going on. And we will be back real soon.
Yes. Love you. Peace.